A few posts ago, I shared with you a nice little self-regulation tool that you might use if you are feeling in a state of hyperarousal. And today I thought what I would do is share with you a resource that maybe you can use if you are feeling in a state of hypoarousal. So the difference being that in hypoarousal, maybe you're feeling a sense of real low energy in the body, flat emotional effect, even a numbed out state in the body. Someone shared with me once that when they're in that state, they feel like they've got this really heavy wet blanket sort of over top of them. And it's just really hard to get out of that, even to get out of bed. So, with this little resource, this little activity I'm going to share, we're looking to bring awareness to sensation in the body very gently by using an external object. So this is really drawing on our exteroceptive awareness. And what the goal is here, hopefully, not for everybody, is to potentially help shift you from that low energy state, that numbed out state, to something that's a bit more active and bring you into a present non-defensive state. I've actually added this into my own practice just before I sit in meditation. I was finding that I was really struggling to keep my eyes open, to not fall asleep while meditating. And so I just realized that I needed to have a little bit extra energy in my system just to bring me into that present moment. And so far, it's been quite good. So I'm going to share with you sort of three non-fancy tools that you can give a try if you like. So the first is the Chuckit ball, which is actually the toy of my dog Cooper. So he is letting me borrow it for the purposes of this. And what I can do with this toy is I'm just sort of, I'm squeezing into it. So it's got some resistance. I guess a tennis ball or a yoga tune-up ball would also work. So I'm just sort of pressing into this, and as I'm doing so, I'm already noticing that there's a little bit of activation happening in my body. And I'm not going for big grip strength, though you could do that if you wanted, but I'm just sort of titrating this slowly. I don't also want to overwhelm my system with too much activation than needed. So I'm just sort of gripping this, and it's got some texture, and it even has a bit of a sound to it when I squish it. And so I'm just, allowing myself to kind of, my interoceptive awareness to really bring attention to this object through my fingers, and just sort of even noticing in my body what's naturally happening. So that one's got a bit more tension. My next favorite one is a balloon filled with quinoa. And I like this one because it actually has a different kind of squish to it. And also, you can probably hear that crunchy sound. So now I'm also bringing in my sense of hearing into this. So that I sort of have dual awareness where I toggle between sort of pressing and manipulating the ball with my fingers, but also hearing the sound that the quinoa makes as I crunch it around. So really excellent for present moment awareness. And then the last one is something I've stolen from my cats. This has the least amount of tension if I'm looking to add a little tension into the body, but more very sensory rich, both for my hearing and also just the tactile sensation that I get from it. Funny enough, I find this one the most stimulating, at least right now. So anyhow, I hope you enjoy.